On tonight's show, we're going to be talking about Game of Thrones releasing Season 8's trailer, do a little bit of a breakdown and reaction to that. We're also going to be talking about how Oscar Isaac wants to be in the Metal Gear Solid film as the main character and what we think. And then we got some DC Comics news. Arrow is entering its final season, and we have a new Deadshot for Suicide Squad 2. Stick around, enjoy the show. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, or Google Play, drop a review letting us know how we're doing here, and give us 5 stars if you'd like. Hello to all the geek enthusiasts and nerd aficionados. Mess 5150 here with another All Things Nerd podcast, Season 3, Episode 10. We are back again to talk all things nerd with you. Everything going on in the nerd, geek, and pop culture universe. At least everything that we have ability to talk about in an hour's time span. We appreciate you guys coming and joining us. I am your host, Mess 5150. On the cast with me tonight, returning, I have Nudie Rudy. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Glad to be back on cast and saying hi to everybody out there in the nerdverse.
And we have Jack Malice, our producer, in the chat room to talk with people. If you're watching this live, remember, this is a live streaming podcast every Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Twitch, twitch.tv/MaliceCorp. So that way you can join in the cast. You can talk to us. We'll talk about what insights you have so you can be a part of the show. And then you can come back and listen later and see if what you had to say made it or not, or if we put you on the cutting room floor. Along with us as well, we have Masonic Vader. How are you, sir?
I am well, sir. Cheers.
So,
and that's about it, sir.
That's it. And then lastly, it's a small cast this week. We have Super Hoovian Freak with us. Hello.
My lights are flickering. I think I need to go get the salt.
And oh, good Lord. And
which 5150 will now understand.
I understood it before.
I know, I'm kidding.
It's not just specific to Supernatural. So.
No, I know. I'm kidding. I just know that you're thinking it, so I thought it'd be funny. But no, my lights really are flickering. That's weird. So
haunted. Bearded Master joins us in the chat room. Good evening to you as well. If you want to check out a Bearded Master and see him on camera, you can come here every Wednesday on Twitch and watch the Malice Smack Talk Wrestling podcast. So, yeah, with that, we just got 4 people here this week to talk all things nerd with you, which means we can get into the geek out portion really quickly. This is what we've been geeking out on, nerding out on for the last week since you last saw us. Me personally, it has been binging fine, so that Super can't tell me that I've never watched it. Don't know what I'm talking about. Supernatural. I have been binging Supernatural. I started like 3 days ago, I think. And I'm episode 19 of season 1. So
good episode 19.
Moving through it pretty quickly.
I'm sorry. I'm just picturing her. Oh, yeah, that is the episode there. And then you say, well, about episode 20. Well, in this episode, she does. Oh, my God. I can totally see that with her.
Yeah. Fairly certain that is the episode I picked as my favorite from season 1.
Interesting.
Providence. The art one, right? With the painting and the creepy little kid.
Oh, that's the one I just finished.
Just watched. Okay, I'm off by 1 episode.
The funny thing was when we were at Comic-Con, was it last year or 2 years ago or something like that? Supernatural was on cable, like playing reruns, and the 2 episodes I saw that time, the first 2 episodes I saw was the Providence, was the one with the painting, and then the episode prior to that with the witch,
nice,
sucking life from children.
Yes, the Striga episode, yeah.
Which just reminds me of the movie Cat's Eye, which if you haven't seen that, kind of the same thing going on with it. I've had some qualms with it, and Super's heard them. And
points. They're not bad points at all.
Yeah, but being on the air for 13 years, I'm going to give it time. I'm enjoying the show. I just I need to catch up and see when it really finds its voice and really gets into its it's full on thing. Because now for the first season, I can see the comparisons of like a lot of people comparing it to X-Files. First season does feel very like that. I know it does become its own thing as it goes along. So,
hey, Super, does it pick up in season 3, episode 4? Is that when he starts getting his stride?
No, season 2. And it depends on what character you like. Because I mean, I'm not going to spoil. I mean, people know because I've been talking about the show, kind of what happens in the journey and whatnot, you know. But the opening scene of season 2 is very, very well acted by Jensen and by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And but I would say about maybe 5 or 6 episodes into season 2, because season 2 is probably my first or second favorite of the whole. It toss up between that and season 8. But the writing, as you know, Mess was saying, the writing really starts to find its groove. The characters kind of start to settle in, and a new mission, or so to speak, is born.
So wait,
and you start seeing the bigger picture come to life with Sam and his arc. And
so wait, you're saying that if a show gets more than one season, they finally start figuring it out and get the writing really good, and that people should give a show more than one chance? Firefly.
Yes, yeah, Firefly Fox. Basically, if a show's not on Fox, I will give the first season a chance without a renewal. But if it's on Fox, you best believe I'm going to wait like 3-4 seasons, because Fox, you have done me dirty.
And thank you, Masonic Vader, for subscribing at tier 1, 14 months in a row. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can click that subscription button above. If you have Amazon Prime, that means you have Twitch Prime, which means you get a free subscription to give to a channel every 30 days. Doesn't cost you anything, but it helps support us over here so that we can get better content going for you. With that, Masonic Vader, since you subscribed, what have you been geeking out on? You get the next little.
I'm not the last. Oh, that's always Masonic Vader. You know what? This has been a slow geek week for me. I think I've just been getting ready for.
You can't have 2 in a row.
No, last week was not slow. I did a little something.
Said, go, guys. Go listen to last week's podcast and then tweet at Masonic Vader and go. Oh, you said exactly the same thing.
Well, you know, what can I say? I have to take my naps. I'm excited for Captain Marvel. Actually, we got. I take my kid to go see it first thing 9:30 in the morning. We're gonna go check it out and continue the Marvel saga. I'm actually more excited now just because the last minute or two I saw that Kevin Smith tweeted after watching the movie, and other than his hair looking kind of weird, he had tears in his eyes. So I don't know what that means about the movie itself. We'll just have to wait and see.
Interesting.
After watching,
I have to go look up that tweet. Okay. So I guess he wants to talk next about what he's been geeking out on, because Nudie Rudy now subscribed to Twitch Prime. So, Nudie, what you been geeking out on since we last saw you? It's been a while.
The main thing I've been pouring a bunch of time in Witcher 3. Finally got back into it. I bought it a ways back and picked it up and just kind of like, didn't really like the combat that much, but then gave it another chance and dove in, and I'm loving it. I've been pouring tons of time into that game, and just whenever I got free minute, just trying to get in there and start hunting down some monsters and baddies. It's good times.
Yeah, I bought the Game of the Year edition that came with like all the features. I haven't played it yet. Jack Malice, our producer, I think this goes both ways. I think he meant I've been nerding out on 40K, but he put I've been needing 40K, which he loves his Warhammer 40K. So
it could be a drug. It could be.
It could just be him fiending to play more Warhammer. So
he's addicted.
And Super says that she can't subscribe again till 3:50. You don't get to talk about what you've been geeking out on. No subscription. No, I'm kidding. What have you been geeking out on, Super?
You know what? I actually decided I've seen I want to say 4 episodes of every season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I feel like every time I go to watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's always those same 4 episodes that I watch. And so I was like, you know what? It's on Hulu. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna watch it. And I started that about a week ago, at like 2:00 in the afternoon. And then all of a sudden it was like the next day and it was like 2:00 in the morning. And I'm like, I am still watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So I'm in the middle of the 3rd season now. I kind of eased up a little bit on it. I was like, but it's really funny.
I was hoping
I knew it was
say I only
funny,
saw
but
the 4 episodes.
yeah.
I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and you can watch it because it got more than 1 season on Fox before it moved over to
Exactly.
NBC now, I think it is, and they already renewed it for the next season.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a great show. I need to go back, and I think I got through the first like 3 seasons and then started watching other shows, and that's what happens with me.
It kind of falls by the wayside, but it is just, he's so ridiculous. The Jake Peralta, the guy that plays the lead, and he is just so ridiculous. Like the episode where they go to the ATX and they're the hostages, and they're trying to, like, they're working with the other agencies in a like terrorist hostage situation, and they're playing the hostages. You remember that one? And he busts them all out, and and then it just turns into a giant paintball war with the Homeland Security. Too funny.
Oh, it's a great show. I love that show. Yeah, so that's what we've been geeking out on. Jack's also reading Drew Hayes' new book, Siege Tactics. So tell us more in the chat room, because I don't know. Let's get right into there's a lot to talk about this week, so get right into the nerd news. First and foremost, the topic that's been on everybody's minds for a year that they've been waiting for. Season 8 of Game of Thrones is coming, and we finally got an actual trailer for it, not some just promo BS video showing us stuff that doesn't actually happen in the episode. This was a full-on trailer, not giving anything away, thank you, but still leaving enough surprises for us to be fiending for it to start even more. As I always like to do when trailers come out, before I ask everybody else's opinion on the trailer, I would love a synopsis reaction from Super Hoovian of what happens in the trailer.
Okay, look, so you got like Arya, she's dirty. Arya's always dirty, it seems like. And she's freaking running from what? I don't know. She was safe in Winterfell the last time we saw her. Dragons. There's dragons and there's whites, and you got a smug ass Cersei. And when you left her, sitting there in King's Landing, she wasn't so smug. So something has clearly happened to upset where we were in season 7 to going into season 8. So I want to see Jon riding a dragon.
And that's what you got from the trailer.
Wait. I said that wrong. Shut up. I know where you're going. I want to see him riding Drogon.
Yeah, you got to see him riding the mother of dragons. Yeah.
Not the mother of dragons.
That was the first. I thought that
Shame
was
on all of you.
Oh, okay. So there's a lot more that happens in the trailer. What'd you think of the trailer, Nudie?
I thought it was a fun trailer. Like you said, it's enough to tease you, get you wanting more, but no spoilers, which is great. I really did like the scene that Super just mentioned, where Cersei kind of just sits in the middle. The way they juxtaposed it with Jon saying, the enemy, doesn't tire, doesn't sleep, doesn't all this, and then suddenly, boom, just show Cersei like, yeah, she could give a crap less. Like, it was a really nice little way to feed that in there, and how she's playing it. And I really liked seeing one of the things I love about Game of Thrones, probably the biggest thing, is the complexity of the characters, and everybody's very three-dimensional, and even the smallest bit characters are very well fleshed out. But like Jaime there, and finding, he's still fighting for the living and all, and being a decent dude and, going against Cersei and all. I really liked seeing that little flash there, and it was, nothing new but good stuff. Definitely enough to wet my whistle, and I can't wait. I definitely am fiending hard.
Yeah. So I thoroughly enjoyed the show. First thing that I did was I jumped onto the internet to, because nobody has answers for anything, but everybody does definitely go dive into the trailer a little bit more. So I ended up over on the ringer.com, and they did a scene by scene look at what was going on and some of the cool things. First and foremost, you open up with Arya running, bloody face, looking terrified, which makes you wonder what the heck is going on, because Arya has been one of those that learning what she's learned and how to fight like she does.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot to scare the hell out of her.
So what is chasing her, you know?
Yeah. Next scene, you see her holding dragon glass, which once again, she doesn't need dragon glass because she has the Valyrian steel dagger. So probably something just they may have finally gotten dragon glass and they're talking about what they need to take care of the whites. You didn't watch the trailer, right, Masonic?
I just actually watched it as people was talking and with no sound.
Okay.
So I saw a lot of cool stuff going on in there. I hate to
better?
say it. What's that?
Does that make it better watching it with no sound?
It makes it better for me because as I was ridiculed about a month ago about never watching an episode of Game of Thrones, I have since got into Game of Thrones and started watching it. However, I've taken a breather from it. So I don't want to kind of like everything you guys are saying is great because I don't know all the characters' names. I don't know who you're talking about, but I mean, it looked cool.
Because we're on the cast, I'm trying to go as spoilery as possible.
Oh, I could do this too, and you guys could do your thing. But I mean, I can tell you that right off the bat, looking at it, it looks phenomenal. I'm impressed. It looks a lot better than first season. First season's kind of dragging me out, man. I need to get the second season where apparently everything starts happening. But I liked it. I like the visual stimulation of it. Someday I'll maybe listen to it when it's actually sound on, when I get to season 8 itself and when everyone else has already watched it all. Hey guys, I finally caught up.
It's a cultural event, man. This is going to be one of the biggest shows, this finale. You should try and binge and catch up before it starts. You got time, man. You can do it. I believe in you.
Man, that's going to be me with like a bucket next to me and like a big industrial Costco size of toilet paper. And
it's not that many episodes per season.
Yeah. What are you talking about? It's 7 seasons, at least 13 deep, right? Then they're all hour-long episodes.
I think it's like 8 or 10 each season. I don't know, maybe 13.
I know one thing. They're hour-long. They're at least hour and 15-minute episodes each.
Around an hour, yeah.
Yeah.
But as long as you catch up at least before the last episode of this season, man, you want to be there with the rest of the world watching this. I'm telling you.
I'm just excited the fact that Peter Dinkling's still in it, man. He's still good.
Peter, who's my favorite character in the whole show, hands down. He's.
I can't believe he's still around. To be honest with you,
Bearded Master asked, "Have you stayed away from the trailers thus far?" I think he stayed away because he wasn't watching at all.
Yeah, I haven't watched anything else. That was the only thing I just watched it. Like I said, no sound, so I am good.
Well, we see the Golden Company on Greyjoy ships, which is not small by any means. This was the best part of this. Barrack and Tormund in the shot. So that gives us our answer about the wall. We do have a great beard coming back this season.
Yes, we do.
And we still have the flaming sword, so I'm very, very happy with it. I
want to know how, but
yeah. And that's the thing, is it doesn't give away things, it just gives us that little bit of,
reassurance.
Tormund is a fan favorite, so being able to see Tormund, it gives you some reassurance. Yeah. Exactly.
Dude, I like the scene where the 2 dragons were in the canyon flying, kind of giving you that Top Gun training scene. I was waiting for the one dragon to go. I was waiting for one dragon to go inverted. But it looked cool.
One of the interesting scenes as well, which is kind of thoughts, what you guys think, are they going off to war, or are they leaving just certain people behind? Because you see Jon and Daenerys leaving with the Unsullied from Winterfell in it.
I know. Well, so they're leaving from Winterfell. So do you think they're going up to meet the army before it gets further south?
Possibly, because they said the Battle of Winterfell is going to be the longest battle on screen for this series ever.
But who, yeah, so you
One of
got to
the
wonder who
longest
they're going to be
film
fighting. Do you
battles
think Cersei's going to try to bring an army up north?
Well, they're going to be fighting on both fronts. They have
Okay.
to be. Were you going to say something, Nudie?
I was just saying that's supposed to be one of the biggest battles filmed ever. They're saying bigger than Helm's Deep and Lord of the Rings. It's supposed to be a massive, massive battle scene. Can't
Yeah.
wait.
And Helm's Deep was intense.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a better fight personally than the one they did at Gondor. You know, for one, it didn't have that really obnoxious orc yelling like Gondor did. God, man.
Nothing's gonna beat the Battle of Endor.
Oh my God.
And then that scene of the dragons flying in that you were talking about, that's, I'm assuming, clearly Sansa's first time seeing the dragons, because the look on her face is like, holy hell, they're real.
Yeah. That was that was cool. So
yeah, I mean that's a lot of the gist. You do get a like heroes getting ready for battle. You see them forging weapons, and they show pretty much everybody at Winterfell, Jorah, Davos. I mean, everybody is Amy, Grey Worm, Missandei. It's gonna be a freaking epic battle. Even the Hound, who's surrounded by fire, which is the funny thing.
His favorite thing.
Wait a second. I didn't see Sean Bean though. I'm just messing with you.
yeah.
I already know. Take it easy.
And
Just
here's
messing with you.
that's the thing is there's a lot of this trailer scenes look like they take place in the crypt of Winterfell.
they did, yeah.
Arya was running. That's what I got. Looked like, yeah.
Where Arya might have been running was in the crypt.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
And they
Yeah.
said that the ending of Game of Thrones will be bittersweet. How off the wall weird, and you know, it can happen. But how crazy weird would it be if all of a sudden the Starks that have died do come back to life to help fight because of situations or something like that, and you get Ned Stark back?
Not as white,
back
though,
as
right?
Wait.
Not as whites. Not as whites.
Hold
Huh?
on a second.
Okay.
I've seen that before. That was in Lord of the Rings: Return of the King with the Ghost Army. Come on, you can't pull
I'm
that
not
off.
talking Ghost Army. I'm not talking Ghost Army. You're
You're
not
saying
far
just-
enough in it. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, man.
Do your thing. Do your thing. Go for it.
Okay.
Just give me the thumbs up.
Yeah, because it's just it's what is he covering his ears? I don't know. Oh
Yes,
he's taking
he's
them off.
got his headset
But
off.
yeah, I mean, with the situation with John and the red lady, I mean,
Do you think that
and
there's
plus, you still haven't gotten Lady Stoneheart in the series, which
No.
is probably not going to happen. But there's setups that they could have. You know, Starks end up back with.
Yeah. So do
some
you
way.
think that, because they've never really explained, is there a time limit where Melisandre, what's her name? I don't think I'm selling that right. The red lady, the one that brought Jon Snow back, is there a time limit where she has to return a soul to the body like that?
You would think so. I don't know if a rotting corpse would really work well.
Jack Malice says, "Fighting on all sides, more massive than Gone with the Wind."
Yeah.
Question mark. And Jack says there is a time limit.
Okay, there is a time limit.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I mean, that would make the most sense. Like you would need to do it within like a week or something of the soul
Well, if
being
their bodies
departed.
are buried down in the crypt where it's winter has come, they'd be like nice and so
That's why Lady Stoneheart was more corpse. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That could
So-
still be really creepy, you know, if she
Yeah.
did resurrect Ned as a walking skeleton, but you know, fully Ned just as a skeleton.
Bearded Master says Melisandre will bring them all back with the help of Bran. And I think he means Bran and her diet.
Yeah. Solid movements.
But that's the thing we still haven't really seen all of. I mean, I'm curious to see, because Bran was not in the trailer at all, was he? I mean, John was.
You hear his voice. You hear his voice because he
You do
talks
hear
about
his-
everything that you've done
Yeah.
was to bring you back home. And you got to assume that is going towards John, because he could have said that to Sansa and Arya anytime last season.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So because that's the first time he's seen John since John left, right?
It would be.
Yeah.
I mean,
Interesting.
of course, this is the one thing I'm glad they did not put on the trailer, because this is going to be such a huge, huge moment for the season, is Arya and Jon seeing each other again for the first time. Because they haven't seen each other since episode 2, right?
Oh, I know. I'm so excited.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so glad they did not put any scene of showing them in the same room together on the trailer whatsoever.
Yeah, because that's going to be a big impact.
Yeah, we're excited. That's needless to say, we're excited. Can't break down too much.
No.
Get your
one
headphones back
last
on.
question before we go on. I may have missed it just briefly watching it. Was there Jamie? Did we see Jamie at all in the trailer?
Yes,
Yeah.
he is in the trailer.
He talked about he promised to fight for the living, and he'll do.
So that was him that said we promised to fight for the living. Okay, because when it went a little dark, and I was like, I think that was Jamie talking, but
HBO doesn't know what a light switch is with trailers for this trailer. It was a very dark trailer. But yeah, no more. You're good. Put your headphones back on.
Yeah. Hey, there's one thing I noticed about the trailer, and this will tell you how far I've gotten into the season 1. When did the Queen get the kid's haircut? What's going on with that, man? The kid was the king. Had that crazy haircut. Just watched the trailer.
Yeah, you're
wow, man. Seriously? Man, and then Bran. I mean, Bran, is that like some Quaker and Oats or something? High fiber stuff?
You're remembering Uncle Benjen as well. Yeah, he was more corpse.
Oh, Uncle Benjen. See, I thought he was making a joke by saying I'm going to have to be Uncle Binging the show. All right.
No.
Cool. I'll sometime catch up. Yeah. Woohoo.
Yeah, but he was going the way of White Walker. It was a different type of animation. So, and Birdmaster, we've got him onto it. He says, now I'm going to go watch the trailer because I can't wait any further. Do it. It's great. Okay, so let's move on to our next story, because I really want to know what your guys' thoughts are on this. Oscar Isaac wants to play Snake in the Metal Gear Solid film, and has actually reached out to the creators of the film to say that he wants to play him, which of course they didn't like. Yeah, come and play him,
I can't see it.
Mainly as Poe Dameron, and he's played other stuff as well. But what do you guys think?
I can't see it. I don't know. There's just something about like I've seen a couple of his other movies outside of the Star Wars universe, and I don't know. I can't see it. I'd rather see the guy from Polar, because if you haven't seen that movie yet, if you haven't seen the movie Polar on Netflix, please watch it. It's a great movie. It's awesome. I can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head, but he's the actor that played in Hannibal. He was also the actor that played Jen Erso's dad. Okay, and he's in Polar. And the reason why I say he's perfect, because you're going to watch the movie, or at least go on the internet and look at a clip where he has the eye patch on, because he actually does have some scenes with an eye patch, and that dude looks like Solid Snake, no question about it.
But is it just? It's not just a look. It's that I know he could pull it off. He
was kicking butt in that movie. I'll tell you that.
We haven't seen. Is there anything that we've seen Oscar Isaac be like?
That's the thing. I haven't seen him
around, basically, right? Just gotta be sneaky.
Yeah, but Solid Snake has that gritty that I've been fighting for decades. He just has, and of course, if you played Metal Gear in the last couple of versions of it, he's also getting worn out and old and stuff. I mean, you could tell that everything's catching up to him. I just can't see Poe Dameron putting an eye patch on and trying to be gritty and tough and a bastard, because that is what Solid Snake is.
Well, I mean, what set this all up is Boss Logic created a poster, like a mock-up poster of Isaac as Snake, and that's where it came about, is because they saw that, and he actually said in the tweet, Snake, that's who I'm throwing my hat in for. I want to play him. And the response from the director was, the ball is in Oscar's court, but he also said that nothing is official or anything at this point in time. But it doesn't sound like it's like, hey, no, there's no way in hell. We have our minds set on other people already. This is something that could come to fruition just because of how much it's ignited on the internet, I guess.
I mean, he's got a backing.
think-
Let's start. Go ahead. Sorry, Super. Go for it.
Oh no, it's okay. But as far as his look go, I think you shave the pretty boy hair, you let him grow some scruff out. He's got a solid jawline. You put him in a leather jacket, you give him some rings, you give him some tats, and he could look like, you know, the dirty bastard you want him to be, you know?
I mean, look, there's Mad Mickelson, I think is his name. That's the guy right there. I mean, that's Solid Snake right
pretty
there.
Convincing.
That's Solid Snake. I mean,
I like Jack's comment. Sure, he can play him on a console.
Once again, I think it's just because we haven't seen him in a role where he's just lethal. I mean, because that's what Solid Snake is. Solid Snake is intelligent. Go ahead, Super.
No, go ahead. I thought you were done.
No, yeah, he think James Bond, but just evil. I mean, he has his scruples, his moral compass, but ultimately he is just the bringer of death.
Like that. That's Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, I know. No,
I'm not saying that's the
still
look,
pretty.
I'm saying he can look not a pretty boy.
He's still pretty in that picture.
You think everybody looks like he was not pretty? I'm going to show you guys this. This is the mock-up from Boss Logic of Oscar Isaac as Snake. If you're going look, I think it looks good. But the agreement that I have with Vader on it is we haven't seen him play that type of character. I mean, I don't know, but it wouldn't bother me.
Well, absolutely. I mean, he's a good actor when it comes down to it. Ultimately, if you give him a role, he probably could play it and do quite well. Wow, we're screen sharing. Sweet. Yeah, he could definitely. You could definitely. I think he could pull it off. But I mean, we don't have anything to use as a measuring stick or any type of comparison.
Jack asked, "What's the name of the guy that you were showing?" He was he played Hannibal. I gotta look him up.
Mads
Mikkelsen.
Mikkelsen. Yes, thank you, Mads Mikkelsen.
Madds Mikkelsen. So, but I don't know if they want to go with an older Snake. So that's Bearded Master says Tom Hardy or Chris Evans would be better than Oscar Isaac. I
agree.
Tom Hardy would be an interesting decision.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Hardy's a good actor. He could pull it off. I think Chris Evans, I have a feeling Chris Evans is stepping away a little bit from acting for a year or so after Endgame.
Dude, I could totally see Captain America pulling that off, man. Just the beard alone, that we were talking about the epic beards. I could see him pulling that off.
Well, once again, where's the hard role that he's done to be that hardened soldier that's the one-man wrecking crew?
Wait, hold on a sec. Can you rephrase that? Because seriously, he's been the one-man soldier wrecking crew for the last 10 years. But
not hardened. Not Captain America has not been.
You know what? Last game, Infinity War was more of that hard-nosed look. I mean, he still wasn't like going around just kicking crap out of people, but he definitely wasn't Captain Courteous like in the first movie.
He's still team motivated as Captain America.
Yeah. What about
Snake is, when I say one man, Snake he's not team motivated. He's solo.
Oh, no. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, what about then the ultimate one-man wrecking crew and go with John Bernthal? Is it too close to the Punisher role?
Actually, you know what? John Bernthal would be a freaking awesome casting.
Yeah, he's already proven. But then he kind of, I think he starts putting himself in a typecast.
Yeah.
I mean, where you go from Punisher to straight Solid Snake, that's almost like playing the same character. Just I guess Solid Snake is more silent kill versus, hey, I'm just gonna chop you up like Punisher.
Yeah, Jack says to watch Valhalla Rising with Mads Mikkelsen. He plays a badass one-eyed Viking in it.
See, 2 movies with a one-eyed Viking. There you go. And once again, it's one of those rarities that we've been going now for 3 years, and this is probably the 5th time that Jack and I have actually agreed. Look at that.
He said he's a medieval snake. Let us know at all nerd podcast on Twitter or at Malice Corp. Let us know, what do you think about the Oscar Isaac playing Solid Snake, or should somebody else play him, and who do you think should be the actor playing him in the Metal Gear Solid film?
Can I throw one more thing in here? I think that whoever they cast, it might be even a good idea to maybe go without a name, because it is the type of character that's similar to James Bond, to where you could do multiple movies like nonstop and create a character off of it, like create somebody from it.
Yeah. Jack says Betty White should play Solid Snake.
Betty White. Betty White
for being a friend.
Bearded Master says it should be Keanu.
No,
God, no.
John Wick. He's got the beard. Just throw up an eye patch.
No, I would not want to see Keanu, because I like John Wick that much. That's the problem. I don't want it to get spoiled.
This chat room is too much fun, because Jack's response to Bearded Master for Keanu is, "I know Kung Fu and how to hide in a box."
Yeah.
Yeah, just make sure they fit in with the rest of the cast that you've already cast,
Yeah. So I don't know.
Hey, smother someone out, put them in a locker.
So let's talk about our last major nerd news topic before we get into our somebody's got to talk about it, which is tacos. DC Comics themed stuff. We got two major things going on the casting front. We're going to go back. We talked about Oscar Isaac playing Solid Snake. Now Suicide Squad 2 is being made. We know the director, writer of
James Gunn
is going to be directing it. But Will Smith backed out of it. We got that news about a week ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And in his place to play Deadshot is Idris Elba. And I think Will Smith was one of the better parts of Suicide Squad 1.
He was.
So
you don't know what you're talking about.
I just kept seeing Will Smith. Like it was too much like stunt casting. Like he didn't become the role for me. Like it was just, oh hey, there's Will Smith. Like he didn't add anything to the movie to me. He really didn't. Like nothing against his
Some
acting.
of that I think was the writing, though.
I think a lot of it was the writing. And it was a terrible villain. That's the worst part, is you can't have a good comic book film if you don't have a villain that is as strong as the story. And that's entire movie was horrendous. And that's why I like Gunn being attached to this, because I think we're going to get that fun ride still, but I think we'll get a good villain this time.
I concur with Nudie. I think Will Smith, I liked him. In fact, I think, once again, like you said, he is one of the things that carried the movie. However, though, it was too much Will Smith and not enough Deadshot. And I think it's going to be an awesome switch over, because
I agree.
I'm just going to be interested to see how they play it out, though, because this is supposed to be a continuation of the movie. So they're going to bring everybody back but Will Smith. So I don't know.
It was scheduling conflicts. There was, when they were looking to film the movie, he's filming currently I don't know what it's called, but he's playing the dad of Venus and Serena Williams for a biography about their lives.
A lot of backlash too. Yeah. So
cheers, Jack. Cheers, Jack. That's all I got.
Yeah, Jack. I agree with you as well, Jack. Margot Robbie is the best part of Suicide Squad. She did a fantastic, but I think that was the two strongest parts.
But I think where Will Smith kind of took over the role of Deadshot, was the fact that the writing was so poor. I think he was trying so hard to inject some personality and life into that dialogue that it kind of came out a little bit too Will Smith instead of the character, because that writing was so poor. I mean,
and once again, it's Deadshot. It's not Will Smith. I mean, that's the problem. There was too much Will Smith comedy in there. If they could have made Will Smith be more of like when he was able to transform himself to Ali, where he was actually trying to do something, get away from all the comedy and make it serious.
I don't think the writing went that way. So I think he did what he could with it, And at least it was enjoyable. It didn't make me want to, stick hot pokers in my eye and make me wonder why the heck I was watching the movie.
Green Lantern.
Yeah, for Ryan Reynolds. So.
I think our producer is going crazy. We can't hear him, but he's having fun in the chat room.
Let him go on his Margot Robbie kick.
Bearded Master said he had the only true story in the movie. Everything else was just thrown together.
That's very true.
Yeah. So, what did you think, Nudie, about the casting of Idris?
I'm really looking forward to it. I think Idris Elba's a great actor. I think it's an upgrade for the movie. Like I said, that was one of the, other than Jared Leto, I thought that was one of the bigger disappointments for me, was just I just couldn't get around seeing, Will Smith in a Deadshot costume. It didn't look like, it was like I said, stunt casting. Like I totally give him props for taking a smaller role in what was not necessarily going to be a big successful movie, but it didn't work for me. I'd rather see Idris Elba in the role personally. And I think it's a bonus for the movie, and I'm very happy to see Margot Robbie continue the role. And yeah,
I think the reason that I liked Will Smith in the film, and I think the reason I thought it was one of the strong points, is when I went into watching the film, I was on the opposite end where I was like expecting just Will Smith in a comic book movie, just to nothing. And when he actually was one of the stronger storylines or stronger points of the film, I think that pushed it up. It's like that going into a movie and expecting it to be amazing, and it doesn't hit that amazing mark, so now it sucks. I expected a low bar for Will Smith's character, and he did a really good job with the character, in my opinion. That
not saying his acting was bad.
Yeah.
I just I couldn't get past seeing him.
Sometimes that happens.
Into the role for me. It just
when I watch the movie, or when you look at the movie and you look at the cast, he is the biggest name out of that entire cast.
Oh yeah,
and I want to say they used him very similar, and I'm going to date myself here, but anyone's watched this movie, they know they used him like Donald Sutherland was in Animal House. Animal House was a movie that was, obviously everyone's watched it at one point or another, but at the time, all the people at the time were not big name actors yet. And the only reason why that movie got passed is because they had Donald Sutherland in there for 5 minutes playing one role, and he had a big name. And I think that's how they kind of used Will Smith. Like, he had more than 5 minutes, but he had the Will Smith name associated with the movie, and that's how they used it.
I don't know, man. I feel like they were pushing harder Jared Leto as the Joker.
Oh, they were definitely, because he had just won an Oscar not too long.
Yeah, and I think that's why everyone was so utterly and completely disappointed with the Jared Leto, because he was like, there's no other way to say it, but
no. Yeah.
I agree with that factor, but at the same time, if what he says is true, if there's another movie worth of his character on the cutting room floor, I can't give him the full what I think he did as the Joker without it's the same thing as it's the same thing as Justice League. Now learning all this stuff that was cut from Justice League,
right? I
can't give it I want the Snyder cut. And I kind of want to see what Jared Leto did. That was cut off the. He should have been the main antagonist. Joker should have been the one that ended up being the main villain at the end of it.
I just want to see what was cut, like you. I want to see what they left. Why did they cut so much? Why did they hype him up so much to have literally like 6 minutes? And mostly it was just him laughing maniacally with his crazy teeth, and
I think that's one of the reasons why they did so much editing to Jared Leto's Joker, is because it was very different than what people have known the Joker from. I mean, it was very sideways. Everything from the personality to the image itself. And I think they cut it out, and call me wrong, whatever, but because it would take away from the fans that were expecting a Joker. And to me, it was a Joker, but it definitely wasn't what we're used to norm-wise. I think it would take away from the film, where people's perceptions of it would just piss all over it. So
I'm happy with
limited amounts.
A lot of Joker portrayals from Cesar Romero to Jack Nicholson too. You know, plenty of other portrayals. You know, but I could never live another second of my life and not miss ever seeing more Joker Leto. That was just horrible.
That's my point. That's my point. I don't. I mean, everyone's got a different Joker, but they're all in it. But none of them are walking around with freaking tats, gold teeth, and looking like some kind of
gangster
thug. Yeah, thug that's just trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah, you could pull it off. I could see it. I mean, I'm even willing to give the Joaquin Joker a chance, which looks like it is.
I think it's going to be amazing.
Exactly, but you know, he's going something kind of along those lines you're talking about. But it was just bad from the get-go.
It would have worked better if it had been anyone but the Joker. Maybe if it had been like Harley.
No, it's Jared Leto. He just has that douchey feel to him.
Yes.
But I think we need to call Will Smith to go over to our producer Jack Malice with the memory wiping stick, because he's remembering that the Joker was in Suicide Squad, which he clearly in the chat room is saying never happened, didn't happen. So we got to get that mind wipe back on him. So yeah, Fury Master says the clown, Puddin', and Mr. J were in Suicide Squad, not Joker.
But he's cut from the second one as well too, right?
Oh yeah.
They said that the Joker completely is going to be cut since.
Yeah. Because him and James Gunn do not get along at all, even before the stuff that happened with James Gunn before. So, moving on from that, they had a major war. So yeah, he definitely will not be in it. But yeah, the other major DC news that happened, and I'm not caught up on this. I know you are, Super, and I know it's something that launched an era that's going on CW right now. Arrow announced that next season, season 8, will be its last season.
Yes.
There's,
no more. Well, I mean, he may make a guest appearance, and I just want to say this: a lot of people. Oh, go ahead.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think that's all that's going to happen. I don't think he's done playing the character 100%, or any of these people that are on Arrow are done.
Yeah.
But I think it's just, this year was the first year that The Flash was higher ratings than Arrow. So it's a sign of the times.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are thinking the CW pulled the plug because of low ratings. And I'm like, no. Mm-hmm. He had approached them back in season 6 that said, I want to make season 7 the last. What can we do to make this happen? He just wants to be with his family. He's tired of the 24 schedule, episodes. He's tired of spending most of his time up in Vancouver when his family and his daughter is down here in Los Angeles. And for whatever reason, they weren't able to negotiate a reduced filming schedule like the guys on Supernatural were, which is why it's still going. They're doing less episodes, they're doing less filming, and they're working around the guy's schedule. But Amel was just like, no, I just want to be, I'm done. And I kind of saw it coming after the crossover last year with the, the merging of the Gotham world and making the, announcement that the Crisis on Infinity, or whatever it's called, because I mess it up every time. With that coming, and I know that there's characters that die in the comic books, so I kind of had a feeling that if they got renewed, season 8 was going to be the last one.
Yeah.
Now, can we throw this out here?
Mm-hmm.
So much stuff going on with DC.
Yeah.
Could there be the potential, because I would be down for this, that he's out of the television series and couple years, maybe 3 or 4 years, however it is, you said it yourself, he's not done playing Green Arrow. Maybe that's the way of being able to bring him into the movie, if they're able to kind of move that forward, and to Justice League if they're able to redo it.
Well, if he's not one of the ones that die in the next crossover, because he made a sketchy deal at the end of the last crossover,
Well, regardless if he dies in the DC universe on television, I'm thinking that if they could break him away from the television series and give him enough time, because we obviously know right now DC is in a reboot and they're trying to figure things out. They've got Flash, they have Wonder Woman 84, they're going to have Aquaman 2, which we know has been pushed back a little bit farther than when we were anticipating. does that give him 2 to 3 years to be able to separate him from the television series, and then all of a sudden have him show up with maybe longer beard, a little older and scruffier, pulling off Arrow?
I don't think they ever merged the CW and the movie universe together at all.
I would like it to. I would love to see him act alongside some of those,
Jack makes a good point. The loss of Barrowman was the death of Arrow. I agree, and I really hope John Barrowman still has a relationship with DC. He's part of the DC morning show that they do for DC Universe, the streaming service. So he's not, completely cut off from DC altogether. I would love them to bring back Barrowman at least for a couple episodes. They have to.
I'm personally hoping. Because they're talking about reshuffling some of the cast possibly to other roles. It's being rumored. This is just strictly a rumor based on this season of The Flash that the actor that plays Cisco might be leaving. Mm-hmm. So if he does end up leaving or taking a reduced role for the next season, maybe you could shuffle someone, over there. Maybe Mad Dog, maybe Curtis. Curtis would actually fit in well because he's got that link, the science link with Caitlin, and he could easily take over Cisco's role on The Flash if they're looking to reshuffle. Yeah, but I'm pushing hard for a prequel show. Screw Arrow, not screw Arrow, but give me Malcolm Merlin as the magician. Like Beacon is always saying, give me a show that shows the history of Ra's al, his time with Ra's al Ghul and the League of Shadows, and give me that because Barrowman can pull it off. I need him on my television.
I agree. So here's the thing. What they said with the ending of Arrow is they really are doing what Marvel's doing right now with the cinematic universe. Marvel's looking to go into phase 4, which is going to be bringing in new characters, start fading out the old that have been doing this for 10 plus years now, and start moving on to new things. That's the same thing that they pretty much made evident with Arrow ending, is that they're going to be starting to move towards that next phase of the DC universe television shows. So one, how much do we have left in what we currently have going on? I'm assuming Flash is going to go for a while. Legends,
Flash will go for a couple. Legends, it's up and down because it's got a following, but the ratings are like steady. So they're like middle of the pack. So they're always on the bubble on whether or not they're going to get renewed. But they've got the huge boost from Constantine. So Constantine might now get its own show.
Well, they're talking about looking at re-looking into doing a Constantine show, whether it ends up on DC Universe or it ends up on CW. I pray that it ends up on DC Universe because you're limited with what you can do on CW. And Constantine being a demon hunter, and I know Supernatural's on CW, but Constantine's a lot more graphic from the comic source material.
And they've proven that they don't want to get that graphic. They don't. Yeah. It needs to be on Sci-Fi, or it needs to be on a network where you can get away with a little bit more. So hopefully, it goes to DC Universe. But he's a popular character. His fame is, I don't want to say fame because he's a famous character, but his role is really taking off, and they're really digging it on Legends with him and the White Canary.
And this is what I wanted to ask you guys too. We're getting I think Cassandra Cain's getting her own TV show. I think they are doing a Batgirl TV show based off of her characterization in the crossover, and they're bringing her into the universe. That means that they're going to be bringing other DC characters to get their own shows. Are there any DC characters that you guys would like to see get a show that haven't gotten one yet?
I would I would be interested to see more of like a villain kind of show. I know they've kind of talked about it and do something like that, but maybe, and not the popular villains either. I'm talking about the like Mr. Freeze, or some of the guys where them, but they're not like the main guys. Yeah, I would love to see I'd love to see something like that. I really would, because last time we saw Mr. Freeze, it just
broke your heart.
It broke my heart. Like, get in the chopper. Broke my heart.
Get in the chopper.
Jack says the issue.
Now.
Jack says Flash will go 2 or 3 more seasons. He says the issue with it, they are going away from the Flash script from the comics, and they're getting too much of a soap opera. But you know what? That's what sells for TV. So unfortunately,
yeah. Especially on the CW, because that's your demographic right there. I want to see like some Sinestro, go a little Green Lantern. I like that.
I would love that. Give me a space cop TV show with Green Lantern.
Zatanna, Raven to pull in from the Teen Titans. You had Cyborg in the Justice League. Where's Raven? Talk about a rich backstory.
Actually, you know what? Come to think about it, I know a good character that would need a good television show. No BS. Booster Gold.
Absolutely.
I think that would be the one to go with.
Give me a Booster and Beetle.
Absolutely. Those are 2 characters that have not been touched other than video games.
A straight up just buddy comedy like cop superhero show with those 2.
Yes, I think that would be the best one to go with.
Psycho Ninja says Shadow Pact. Jack agrees with Zatanna, Constantine.
Yeah.
Bearded Master says Freeze was in Gotham, which is a great show if you haven't watched that. I love Gotham. I'm fully caught up on that. But Duty, did you have any characters that you would like to see CW kind of tackle to bring into this next step up of the universe?
I wouldn't mind. I mean, Batman being my favorite character in general, going on with that universe, maybe seeing some stuff with Nightwing, or go with that would be a fun character to bring forward. And they're kind of teasing some of that with the last of the Dark Knight ones, so I think that'd be a nice way to keep that up. Give me some Robin love. I like it.
Well, they got that with Titans right now on the DC channel, and I think they're going to I think they're going to swerve that to Nightwing at one point or another.
As far as a big blockbuster movie and seeing Joseph Gordon-Levitt, playing that Nightwing character, I think it'd be great. I'd do it. I'd watch it.
Hell yeah, I was there with you.
Oh yeah, that's Bearded Master also says Nightwing would be a cool one. Now it could just be a dark freaking cop mystery show. So, but Psycho makes the best argument of all. Give the stories to Jeff Johns. That's the man. Oh, Lobo. Yes. Jack Malice says Lobo.
Lobo would be fun.
That would be a fun one. So, I mean, there's stuff that they can go to. There's things that they haven't even tapped into yet, especially those characters that they want to get an audience to get them known. The Green Lantern one is a great one because people have been asking for the movies properly for Green Lantern for the longest time. That I think if we got a Green Lantern Corps that didn't have to focus on your core, Hal Jordan or Kyle Rayner, or just a group of Green Lanterns in space, being space police. So I think would be great. I just don't know how they would evolve it into the same universe because it'd be in space.
And there's that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the little things, the little things.
Let's do our last thing because we didn't do it last week. This is our somebody's got to talk about it.
Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it.
It is the weird stuff, the odd little things that have to do with nerd and geek and pop culture that you find out there that is just fun to talk about. And I came across this under my, I think it was Geek News tab on Gmail. And there's this restaurant that had just opened a new restaurant at the end of the year in Charleston, and they have one in Charlotte as well called Ruru's Tacos. And the best thing about this, the reason that this is a pop culture talk about it thing, every single item on their menu is named after a quote from a TV show or a movie, which just gives you fun because you go in and you read, and you've got "Say Hello to My Little Friend" as a drink. You have a bunch of different stuff. So
Mary Samsonite.
Too funny. I'm not Joe Bay. I'm not Joe Bay.
You're my boy, Blue.
It's just fun, yeah. I
Yeah.
thought I'd have a little bit of fun with this with you guys, give you guys a little game on it, read you off a couple of the line items.
Nothing to beasts. Yeah.
Read you off a couple.
Sorry, Gaylord Fokker.
Song. I like it. I hate
Oh
that.
my gosh, that's awesome.
If you can name where the quote came from, I'll give you a point. If you can name who the character or the actor was that said the quote, you'll get an extra point. We'll just go from let me look at my screen, going from left to right. So we'll start with Masonic Vader really quickly. I've only got about 6 of these. So Masonic Ma the Meatloaf.
Oh man, of course you would pick Ma the Meatloaf. Yeah, can't remember. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is from Wedding Crashers. It's Will Ferrell as Chaz Reinhold.
Ma the meatloaf!
I don't know why I was thinking Waterboy.
I unfortunately saw that movie in the movie theaters, but unfortunately, I want to say I probably had a couple too many drinks beforehand as well.
Who's balls
Yeah.
to double, Bobby Boucher?
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounded like an Adam Sandler.
So we got a big 0 on there. Next, going over to Super. And if you don't get this, then shame on you. I am McLovin.
Seriously, hold on a sec. You gave the softball right,
I'm
just like that.
going by what's written and by how you guys were in the.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think I've seen that movie.
Really?
Oh,
I don't
You
know.
don't even have to see the movie to know the quote.
That is
I
know the
super
quote, but-
bad. That is so super bad.
Oh, the movie?
yeah.
That's the movie Super Bad.
I am McLovin.
Christopher
This
Mintz-Plasse.
Hawaiian ID that just says McLovin, just one name. It's fake
Like
ID.
Madonna.
Christopher Class, come on.
Yeah, Christopher Mintz-Plasse said it as Fogel was his character.
Mhm.
Now to you, Nudie. And of course, you get the kind of hard one, but I'll see if you can get it. Let It Rain. And they say it like multiple times.
Nothing's coming to mind.
Okay, that's Along Came Polly.
Let it rain!
Philip Seymour Hoffman as Sandy Lyle when they're playing basketball, and he keeps trying to sink the basket. Every time
Dude,
he plays the ball, he's like, "Let it rain."
I got the next one, dude. Chevy Chase, Martin Short. Are you gonna skip that one, or am I gonna get it?
I skipped around so that they would be. I wrote a list.
Man,
Yeah.
come on.
I wrote a list out.
three
Let's see if
amigos
you guys can get
yourself.
these.
Hell yeah.
Because here's the thing: by the way that the list is going, if you don't get this one, I know that Super will get the next one, because if she doesn't, then yeah. So, and I don't know if you'll get this, but stop eating cupcakes.
Damn it! Why couldn't you do the Lighten Up Francis one, man? I had that
I
one.
didn't want just the super easy ones.
Come on, I guarantee probably a couple people wouldn't have known that one.
Do you know where stop eating cupcakes came from?
Probably not, to be honest with you. No, I'm gonna say no on that.
That is from This Is 40.
Stop eating cupcakes! Stop eating cupcakes!
Leslie Mann says it.
Never saw it.
Debbie.
Yeah, definitely didn't see that
That's
movie.
the sequel to Knocked Up.
Oh, okay.
So
Knocked Up. I didn't like Knocked Up, so I didn't
Yeah.
want to see the sequel.
I got
Super,
the
you
Mary
got so
Samsonite
lucky.
one.
Super, you got so lucky that it landed this way, and I know you're going to get 2 points because you'll also be able to tell me who said it. We were on a break.
Oh God, that's not the one I thought you were gonna go with, but
That's what I have
that's
on the
Ross
list.
and Rachel in Friends.
They're friends, yeah.
Yeah.
We were on a break. We were on a break. We were on a break.
But that one, yeah.
She got
Um,
softball pitches. I see how it is,
I didn't
buddy.
do it this
All
way.
right.
But I have.
All right.
I,
You
I
see
saw
that, Nudie? It's
Superbad
against
one
us,
time.
bro.
I didn't.
It's
know.
against
I
us,
didn't
Nudie.
remember that one.
It's all
You know,
against us, Nudie.
The odds
It's
are
all what we see.
Uh-huh.
Let It Rain was nudie at the nightclub last night, is what Jackson.
No golden showers.
All right, so we got 2 points for Super. Nudie Rudy, that's not Snowflake. Come on,
Snowflake.
that's not Snowflake.
Drawing a blank.
Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
It's not Snowflake. It's not Snowflake.
Ah.
Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
after he goes into the water tank and
Yeah, the orca. Yeah.
and it's a shark. Yeah,
Yeah.
tracking him
Funny
around.
because it's just the random lines that you don't remember.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
Like a glove. I would have remembered that one.
Fat
All
guy
right,
in a little
Vader.
coat. Come on.
All right, Masonic Vader. This is this goes with your age. So we'll
Oh,
see. If we
great.
can get it.
Thanks.
I don't know if it's good. I tried not to pick easy ones, but it's all ball bearings.
Fuck. Fudge.
No looking it up on Google.
I'm not looking at Google. I'm looking at the name. See, I'm not cheating. I'm looking at names. I'm looking at all these other names. I'm like, I know that movie. I know that. It's all in the ball bearings.
It's all ball bearing.
God, put that not dodgeball, but what's that stupid kung fu one with the guy?
Dodge a wrench.
Christopher Walken.
I love how Beard and Master is like, these are seriously the easiest lines.
I
Come
can't.
on here and do it then.
It's is
Fletch.
it what's that?
Fletch,
Oh,
Chevy Chase.
Jesus.
Hey, it's all ball bearings nowadays.
Yeah. Okay,
I
I
I
haven't
didn't
seen
see
Fletch.
that.
That is definitely my time, but I haven't seen
That's
that
your time. That's they're in the airplane hangar, and he's talking about like the things to fix on the airplane. He's like, oh yeah, it's just all ball bearings. That's everything to fix. Just ball bearings. That's there's nothing else. And then
Oh boy,
you
here
know
comes
what?
the softball. Here we go.
No.
Go
But
ahead,
she's already in the
throw it
lead.
at her.
She's already in the lead. So
So give her the softball. Go for it.
Okay, so if you can't get this Sarah, then somebody gets to say their name, whether it's Nudie or Masonic, to get it. We'll give you 3 seconds to get it. Fat guy in a little coat.
I can't tell you. I know the
Okay.
quote, but I don't know the movie at all.
Somebody tell me your name if you know.
Oh, that is the big guy, Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what movie?
Chris Farley, and that's the brothers
Tommy Boy?
with Tommy Boy. Yeah.
Tommy Boy, yeah.
Tommy Boy. Yeah.
That guy in a little coat. That guy in a little coat.
Yeah, so yeah, you say Chris Farley, I can get it. But I've heard the quote repeated.
Fat guy in a little coat.
So I
But
should
you know
get at least
what's funny?
partial point for
They
naming the
heard it.
actor, right?
We have a saying in our group. We have a friend that was at Raging Waters, and there was a guy that went down the inner tube, the ride in front of her, and he
And
actually
that guy got stuck in the slide.
So my line now is fat guy in a little tube. I actually forgot the quote was fat guy in a little coat. So that's why I kind of forgot the movie.
No.
Sorry,
Down by
sorry,
the
Tommy.
river.
We can't go down the slide. We have to wait for the paramedics to show up. Sorry.
Just send more people down there until
Jack says that we're going to be replacing you guys with the Bearded Master and Psycho Ninja because they knew all the quotes versus you guys.
But it's like when I see the movie once years ago, I'm not going to remember everything. I remember slapping the bass.
Super bad.
No, I've seen it once. I mean,
it's so quotable though. And McLovin, come on.
I'll have to see it again. I knew the bend and snap and the.
Jack says you remember every line in Supernatural, but you can't.
Yeah, but I've seen Supernatural like 10 times.
I know.
10 times, one time.
Okay, let's finish up tonight's cast. We have a nerd fight that ended. And it was the Epic Beard of 2019, and the Peach Fuzz Beard won. But you know what? It was a beard.
Was that an epic fight, or was that just?
Oh, it was.
All right.
It was
Who's second
beating.
place?
It was a brutal beating. I don't know. Is it me? I have to look it up really quick. But yeah, so Jared Padalecki's beard from Supernatural from last season will be superimposed on other winners of this year's Epic Beardos when we start talking about the best of 2018. So it'll be quite interesting. But you had In first place, Jared Padalecki with 377 votes. In second place, which I think should have been the Epic Beard in all honesty, because it was a full beard, was John Krasinski's Lee Abbott from A Quiet Place. Third place was Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Then we had Chris Evans as Captain America, Kratos from the God of War video game, and then David Letterman got a vote. Finally, somebody voted for him.
I think that's damn ridiculous that a video game beat David Letterman's beard, because that is an epic beard.
It's a great beard.
It was. It was.
The new nerd fight will be taking place in the middle of St. Patrick's Day, so we decided let's celebrate St. Patrick's Day a little bit. Let's go with something green, and we're going to go a little bit off the wall here. This nerd fight is going to be the best green item in pop culture. So an item that was in nerd or geek or pop culture, film, comics, whatever you want to pull it from. Not a person, an item. And then every day you get to pick or you get to vote on who you think it should be, so that we can find out who wins and who gets picking rights for the next nerd fight. And then we get rid of, since we only have 4 here this time, whoever's the loser on this one gets kicked off for a bit of time off the show. So
we don't get to take IC Zorro's vote by proxy.
No. So
we can't have whole cans, right? No whole cans.
So Super, you get the first pick of.
All right, I think I got one. I know I got one, and I don't.
Welcome, Fuel Trozzy. Wait, real quick. Welcome, Fuel Trozzy. They missed the live stream because Facebook did not remind them. I am so sorry. Just remember, we're here at 8 p.m. every single week. This will go up on YouTube, and it will end up on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes, anywhere that you want to listen to the cast. And if you are checking it out on any of those platforms, please drop a review and make sure to rate the podcast as well, so other people can find out about it. So. Go ahead, Super.
Thank you, Nudie, for that story. I have completely lost my train of thought now, and I am just wow. Okay, well, this is one I think Jack will really, really like. I was trying to go outside of the normal things, like lightsabers and the Green Lantern ring and whole cans, and I'm going with Boba Fett's helmet.
Ooh, it's nice.
You see it, the silhouette, you know exactly what it is. It's one of the better characters of Star Wars. I'm still hoping to get the Mandalorian TV series, on Disney Plus. I hope they're going to go with it. And so I'm going with Boba Fett's helmet. Okay,
that'll be an interesting argument when you got to talk about why it's the best green thing out there.
I know.
So, just remember your fight. So
yeah.
I agree. Boba Fett's my favorite character, so I think it's a great item. Yeah. But I'm gonna bring a doozy at you.
Yeah.
Because green's in the title of it, and I get the next pick. I'm taking the Green Lantern, the ring. That's no argument this week. Just what the picks are. We'll argue about everything next week.
Yeah.
So, Sonic.
All right, I am gonna go with one you guys never even thought of, and I'm gonna go with the Green Machine from Scooby-Doo.
Oh,
yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Because I knew Green Lantern's ring was already going to be picked, so I had to come up with something that is there. So
that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, absolutely.
The Mystery Machine.
I am not picking that, Jack. The way on God's green earth.
Jack says you mean the Mystery Machine. Yeah.
I'll take that too.
Green Machine is the drink that you drink to keep you healthy.
I like to call it green.
Nudie, what was your pick?
I was thinking about going for the popular pick and just one that'll run for itself, but I can't. I'd feel dirty. I was thinking about going for Yoda, but
person though.
It's green. It's still green.
No characters. It has to be an item.
Okay, but no. Actually, what I was going to go with is I think I want to go with the Emerald City.
Nice.
Greener than that. I like it. It's got a nice place.
And it's a lot of items, so it's an entire city.
The Emerald City, baby.
Jack keeps yelling in the chat room, so I'm going to give it to him because, of course, people would be like, "You have a thing about green items from pop culture, and you don't even have it on the list." But since he's our producer, we're giving it to him. He takes kryptonite, and we're not arguing this week. But I know his argument is because it's the one item that can kill Superman, which he.
I love those Stanley Ipkiss and the Green Mask. Still one of my favorite Jim Carrey roles.
That's great too.
Smoking.
So, this week we have Boba Fett's helmet. We have the Green Lantern ring. We have the Mystery Machine, not the Green Machine.
Whatever.
The Emerald
Semantics at this point, right? Semantics. I mean, here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna start up, and someone's gonna go and to the Supernatural Network and be like, "Hey, just vote for the Mandalorian helmet. You don't even know what it is. Just vote for it."
No, they will vote
I'm
for
just messing with
supernatural things.
They will not vote
Maybe
for it,
you
yeah.
can snag them with another CW show, but they're gonna go Star Wars.
Okay. Yeah, and then we have Emerald City from Wizard of Oz and Kryptonite. So I think it's a great list. Have fun with it. Malice-corp.com. You see it written below. It'll start on Sunday. Every day, every 10 hours, you can vote, decide a winner. So yeah. We got that going for 2 weeks, and then we'll have another nerd fight after that. And next week we'll have some people return because it won't just be a little small four-person podcast. This is where we say goodbye. So we're going to tell you where you can follow us, and if we have a hashtag to interact with us on Twitter or Instagram, we'll drop you a hashtag to interact with us and have some fun talking about stuff. So super, dude. Where can we follow you or?
Yes.
Or
yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at SuperHoovianNut, and then you follow me on Instagram at SuperHoovianFreak. I don't have a specific hashtag for this week, but just come talk to me. I know a lot of people are going to be hitting me up with VegasCon coming in 15 days, 16 days, or whatever. So we're all starting to get excited and get on that bandwagon. And probably going to be a lot of VegasCon talk over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, Fuel Trozzy is loving my hat, says to vote for my hat. This actually came from the PlayStation convention that they're not having this year, but the one that they had like 2 years in a row. So I love this hat as well. It's a PlayStation hat, if people don't know. So, and there you go. You're getting stuff told to you, Masonic Vader, about the hashtag you should throw. So
yes, hashtag.
Where can we follow you first, and then give us your hashtag?
Okay, yeah. You can follow me at Masonic. If you look over my shoulder, because I'm pointing in the right direction this time, that's Masonic Vader. You can also follow me at Masonic Vader 71. And of course, check us out, Smack Talk Wednesday. You did mention the night, Wednesday nights, 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you very much on Twitch. And yeah, hashtag WWE Fastlane. Tell me who your picks are going to be.
Hashtag Fastlane Smack Talk is what you should do. So it's catching you guys so that you know.
And that too.
There you go. Hashtag Fastlane Smack Talk to Vader. Nudie, where can we follow you? And if you have a hashtag, give us it. If you don't, cool.
You can follow me at Nudie Rudy on Instagram and Nudie Rudy on Twitter. And let's go with hashtag Emerald City. Give me some of your favorite memories from Wizard of Oz or anything related to some greenery and architecture. I like it.
The guy that hangs himself while he's walking down the yellow brick road. Can we ever confirm if that's real, by the way?
Yeah. So if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at @mest_MaliceCorp or on Instagram at mest5150. You can follow this entire podcast at All Nerd Podcast. Head over to Facebook, look up in the groups for the All Things Nerd Podcast group, and you can join us there, talk about nerd stuff anytime, whenever. Or if you really want to talk anytime, all things nerd, you want to talk about comic books, you want to talk about wrestling, you want to talk about anything and everything, we have a Discord. Look up Malice Corp for Discord servers and come join us over there, and let's talk nerdy all the time. My hashtag for the week is who should play Snake. Give me your just Snake. People should know. Unless they're thinking of other stuff. They're just thinking of Snake on the old Nokia phones. Like, who should be playing that? But yeah, Oscar Isaac, should he be Snake from Metal Gear Solid, or should it be somebody else? Let me know. Who should play Snake? Yeah.
Not Will
That's it.
Smith.
No.
No. What about
snuck it in? Yes.
No. If you want to sneak it in, what about why am I blanking all of a sudden? Nick Cage to play Snake.
What? Seriously?
Oh, really?
5 seconds.
At the end of the show. Thank you guys for joining us. You keep nerding on, and we will see you next week.
So disappointed in you.
Oh my gosh.